Hello students. So today we are going to revise our next topic, that is force. We all know that push or pull is force. Any type of work will be done because of pushing, pulling a stationary object on which a force is acting, that tends to source on changes, that is force. So it remains stationary or in motion to move with the speed, same speed, change in speed, or change in the direction. When no force is acting on any object, the object will be stationary without any change in its position, direction, etc. But if force is acting, what will happen? The object will tend to move from its place, isn't it? So this is actually the first law of motion. Next year in 9th, you will have all the 3 laws of motion by Newton. So the first, Newton's law of motion is that what it is? A stationary object on which no force is acting will remain stationary. Suppose this is a box. No force is acting on it. In that case, this box is going to be stationary. Without moving, it will be there itself. And an object in motion continues to move. Keep on moving with the same speed and direction unless and until no force is applied to reduce the speed or stop the object from moving. For example, if this is your ball, football, suppose this is a ball and with some force it is in motion. Unless and until somebody kicks it with the feet, it is not going to change its direction. It is not going to stop its motion. Why? Because force is acting over it. Somebody has kicked it and it is rolling down on the ground. So force is such that either push or pull will bring about the object in a motion or bring it to resting position. This is your first law of motion, the simple one. Example, you can see pushing of a vehicle, pulling by some animal like a bullock cart, pulled by a bull, tonga pulled by a horse, or if you are pulling the sledge with the help of dogs, we can see it is bringing about a force and motion is seen. Or if you kick a ball, you can understand how it can be brought about in motion. But you have to kick, you have to apply a force. Otherwise, it is not going to come into motion or moving object will not stop. Your example, your bicycle, you have to apply the brakes. If brakes are not applied, the cycle is not going to stop. It will keep on rolling down over the road. Now, on this basis, you see, force can be classified into 2 types. Contact forces and non-contact forces. Now from the name itself you can understand contact force means in contact. By touching you are bringing about the force. Okay. And in non-contact force, without touching also the effect is seen. Sometimes it happens that we are going to see along with the examples. So, example we shall take is a car moving in forward direction. When a man applies force from behind, if somebody is pushing it, in that case, it will be showing motion. So we have to push with the hand. Okay. Or pulling of a tanga with the help of your horse, or pulling of a bullock cart with the help of bulls pulling it. So you see here in these examples, we observe that a force acts on two bodies through an interaction between them. There is an interaction between them. Suppose this is your ball and it is being kicked by the feet and the shoe. What will happen? This ball will get kicked and start motion in. So this is also an example here, but you can see direct contact is there between the foot of a player, the shoes of a player and the football. There is direct contact, isn't it? And therefore we can say that these type of forces are contact forces. Here we can see the bullock is pulling the cart, the horse is pulling the cart, or somebody is kicking the football, or somebody is pushing the vehicle, heavy vehicle which has some problem in the starting machine with the help of a hands. Here contact force is seen. Direct contact between the two objects is observed. So muscular force is seen here. Muscular force we are utilizing. If we are pushing something, if we are pulling something, in that case muscular force is observed. It could be of a horse, it could be of a bull, of a man kicking the ball. You all can see in this example direct contact between two objects is there. Therefore, it comes into the category of contact force. We call it as a contact force. But next, if you come to some other examples, like a coconut falling from a coconut tree, what happens? Is there someone to pull it down? If this is your coconut tree, okay, this is your coconut tree. There are what many coconuts here, and one coconut starts falling down. Because it was ripe, it started falling down. It is not going in horizontal position, not going upwards, but it is directly falling down. But nobody is there to pull it down. We are not holding it down. Automatically, when it is falling from the tree, it is coming down. It is coming towards the ground. Why this thing is happening? Can you see some force? Because we are not utilizing hands or feet that was shown in muscular force. That is contact force. But here, automatically, any fruit falling down from a tree is going down only. No other direction. Without somebody using their muscle to pull it down. In that case, what type of force is acting on this coconut? Is your gravitational force. Gravitation of the earth is pulling this coconut down, and finally it will rest on the ground. What is pulling it? The gravitational force. But could you see the gravitational force here directly with your eyes? No, we were unable to see. Here there is no direct contact between the earth and this coconut. Then also it is coming down, getting pulled towards the earth because of the earth's gravitational force. So gravitational force is a non-contact force because we cannot see direct contact between two objects and then the effect will be seen of the force. No direct contact. Then also coconuts or any other fruit falling from a tree comes down. Another example I can give you is when a comb gets rubbed against hair. We comb our hair. This is your comb with teeth. To make your hair, we are utilizing it, isn't it? Daily. You comb it very oftenly and then a certain amount of bits of paper are collected, and when we bring this comb near it, not directly touch it, you can see the gap here. Okay, it is not directly touching the bits of paper. We are keeping it near this comb. We have experienced that these bits of paper automatically gets pulled towards the comb. Okay, what must be happening there? What must be happening when we rub the comb on our hair? A certain type of force that is called as electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is generated on it, and that helps in pulling of these bits of paper towards the comb. And this force is again non-contact. We are not touching the comb directly to your bits of paper. There is a gap between. Then also automatically they get pulled towards the comb. Why? Because of this electrostatic force, which is also another non-contact force. Okay. Then next example you can see is of a magnet. Okay. For example, you have a magnet, say it is a horseshoe-shaped magnet. You must have seen a magnet in your homes or any of the music systems which are damaged. You can remove big magnets from within. There are magnets. This magnet, I keep it away from certain amount of nails I was having. Nails and screws, iron made, which were, okay? And bring the magnet little bit near, but no direct contact between the magnet and the iron screw. This is your magnet, and these are the iron screw. What happened? The iron nails or the screw got pulled towards the magnet and they got attached to the magnet. Okay. This is a very special quality of magnets. Electromagnets we all have made in schools, in our activities, in our smaller classes also. So you all know how a magnet works. It pulls the iron made objects towards it. If you have taken a magnet in the sand, which is kept on the construction sites to play, you can find that small iron filings, small pieces, very, very minute pieces of iron get attached to the magnet, and you can collect those iron filings with you forever. You can separate. So magnet is also showing a special quality of pulling iron objects towards it. So this quality again comes under the category of non-contact force. There is no contact between two things, but the effect of the force pulling is seen. Iron nails get pulled towards the magnet. So magnetic force is the third type of force which come under the category of non-contact force. There are three different types of non-contact force that daily we are experiencing. Gravitational force, because of which we are standing erect on this earth. If there is no gravitational force, you can imagine we will be just floating in this atmosphere, isn't it? Then electrostatic force, rub anything with another thing, and if some static force is developed on it, it will pull some other objects. Even this foam, if you bring near your blankets which are made up of rayon or acrylic, you can see the hair of these synthetic fibers will get pulled towards the foam. That is due to the electrostatic force. And magnetic force, very oftenly you all have seen, you have played with the magnets, so you know how the magnet pulls iron objects towards it. So these are the three important non-contact forces. Daily we are coming in with or observing these examples in our life. And in contact force, muscular force is an example of contact force and is applied to object with the help of our muscles or any animal muscles like pulling of the bullock cart and all. It is applied in several cases such as lifting. I'm lifting this duster. For that also I have used my muscle. Isn't it? Pushing, pulling, all these things we use this contact force, muscular force. And contrary to this, forces like magnetic force, gravitational force, and electrostatic force act without direct contact. Therefore, there are many examples of non-contact forces also. Okay. One more force is flying with, that is, if some ball or a vehicle is moving on the road, this is a car suppose, and it is rolling down with the help of these wheels on this road. Okay. Now the driver is not applying the brakes. In that case, the vehicle will keep on rolling on the road without stopping. Keep on moving constantly with constant speed and same direction. Okay. But if force is applied to apply the brake or to reduce the speed, in that case we will say it is again example of muscular force. But take an example of a ball. This ball was kicked by a player and on the ground it is rolling. It is moving constantly. It is rolling. But after some time you find that automatically it stops. or it reduces the speed first and then it comes to rest position. This rolling ball, if no opponent is going to stop it, then also after some time it comes to rest. Your bicycle also, you are pedaling and coming to school, but on the way if you stop pedaling, what will happen? When the bicycle will be coming in contact, the tires are coming in contact with the road, after some time the speed will get slowed down and finally the bicycle will stop, come to rest if you are not pedaling in that case. Why this thing is happening? Because you see the two surfaces, the ground and the ball surfaces are coming in contact with each other. Okay, you see here also two things are coming in contact with each other, and because of frictional force, one more force that is named as friction. Friction between two things. You see, when you rub two hands on each other, you feel warm. In winter also, when you are feeling very cold, what you do? You rub your hands and you feel warm. Why? Because two surfaces are rubbing against each other. Their force named frictional force is developed, and this brings about the ball to stop, your bicycle to stop if it is not being pedaled. So frictional force is also a type of contact force, because here also two surfaces are coming in contact with each other. Are you getting the difference between contact force and non-contact force? In contact force, we got two different types of forces, muscular force and frictional force. In non-contact force, we got gravitational force, electrostatic force, as well as magnetic force. So you see, when a ball is kept on a table and pushed a little bit, what will happen? It moves ahead and gets slowed and stop after some time. Okay, even if this duster, if I push, it stops on its own. It's not keeping on moving. I pushed it once and it came to a halt. Why this thing is happening? Because of the frictional force, isn't it? A car running on a plane and plain road travels some distance and stops after the engine is also switched off. This is because of the force of friction between the road and the tire of the car. Frictional force is very useful in our day-to-day life. If frictional force will not be there, we won't be able to walk smoothly on the floors. We will fall at every step and we will have fractured arms and legs all the time and we will get hurt if frictional force is not there. Okay, it is very useful in daily life. While walking, we push the ground behind with our feet. In the absence of friction, we will slip down and fall. We have experienced this also. When there is water on the floor or oil spilled on the floor and we don't know, we move on, we walk, and suddenly because of the oil, talcum powder or water that has been spilled on the floor, we step on that and friction is not there and we fall down. Friction is reduced and we fall down or we tend to fall down. So all the objects in motion have a frictional force acting on them, which is acting in the direction opposite to the direction of motion. Now, frictional force has a special quality that it is acting in the opposite direction of the direction of motion. Now, the ball is moving in that direction, but the frictional force is moving in this direction. It is tending the ball to stop. Okay, so first the speed is reduced and then it comes to a stop. All the objects in motion have a frictional force acting on it, that too in opposite direction. And we have seen that one tends to sleep on a banana peel on the street. Similarly, one can slip due to mud. Both these examples occur due to reduction in the frictional force. Now you see, if there is water, all this floor is covered with water. All the hills and valleys in the floor, all the shapelessness in the floor is filled with water or oil. In that case, what will happen? The speed of the ball will not be very easily reduced because the friction will be reduced if this rough portion is covered by some other material. Okay. So these are certain examples of contact and non-contact force. So revise it one time and we shall move on to the next topic in the next class. Okay. Bye all of you.